The Cold War was a period of geopolitical tension and ideological rivalry between the United States and the Soviet Union (USSR) that lasted from the end of World War II in 1945 until the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991. Here are some key points about the Cold War. Confrontation between the USSR and the USA. Origins: the Cold War emerged from the ideological differences and geopolitical competition between the capitalist West, led by the United States, and the communist East, led by the Soviet Union. The end of World War II saw the division of Europe into Western-aligned and Soviet-aligned blocs. Nuclear arms race. The Cold War was characterized by a nuclear arms race between the USA and the USSR. Both superpowers developed extensive arsenals of nuclear weapons, leading to the doctrine of mutually assured destruction (MAD), which deterred direct military confrontation. Space race. The rivalry extended beyond Earth, with the USA and the USSR competing in the space race. The launch of Sputnik 1, the world's first artificial satellite, by the Soviet Union in 1957, marked the beginning of the space age and sparked a series of space-related achievements by both nations. Proxy wars. Instead of engaging in direct military conflict, the USA and the USSR fought proxy wars in various regions around the world. These conflicts, such as the Korean War 1950-1953 and the Vietnam War 1955-1975, were ideological battlegrounds where each superpower supported opposing sides. The Berlin Wall, one of the most enduring symbols of the Cold War, was the Berlin Wall, constructed by East Germany in 1961 to prevent defections to the West. The wall divided Berlin into East and West Berlin and remained a physical and ideological barrier until its fall in 1989. Cuban Missile Crisis. The Cuban Missile Crisis of 1962 brought the world to the brink of nuclear war. The crisis was sparked by the discovery of Soviet ballistic missiles in Cuba, leading to a tense standoff between the USA and the USSR. It was resolved through diplomatic negotiations, averting a catastrophic conflict. Détente. In the 1970s, both superpowers pursued a policy of détente, seeking to ease tensions and reduce the risk of nuclear war. This period saw arms control agreements, such as the Strategic Arms Limitation Talks (SALT), and efforts to promote diplomatic engagement and cooperation. Afghanistan invasion. The Soviet Union's invasion of Afghanistan in 1979 escalated tensions with the USA and its allies. The USA supported Afghan resistance fighters, known as the Mujahideen, in their struggle against Soviet forces, contributing to the eventual withdrawal of Soviet troops in 1989. Reagan's Evil Empire Speech. In a speech delivered in 1983, U.S. President Ronald Reagan famously described the Soviet Union as an evil empire, signaling a return to a more confrontational approach to U.S.-Soviet relations after years of détente. Fall of the Soviet Union. The Cold War came to an end with the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991, economic stagnation, internal dissent, and the failure of communist ideology contributed to the dissolution of the USSR, marking the end of the bipolar world order that defined the Cold War era.